Hey everybody, Sinister Lex here with Coastal Morning. Today we're going to be talking about moving through the interview process, communications moving through the interview process. Before we get into that, remember to rate, comment, subscribe, click that get notification bell if you want my notifications. Also remember we have the free Discord chat down below where you can come and hang out with me, ask questions, get answers, all of that stuff. We've got the 1K giveaway coming up, $100 worth of freelance gear. If you send me the requested information, that is also in a link down below. And we've got the 100K challenge, 100K Upwork challenge coming up. That's going to be kicking off in January. You need to be part of the Discord chat if you want to be part of that. So this topic came up in one of my videos from a few days ago. Someone mentioned doing a video on communications moving through the interview process. Thought we could kind of dive into that. It's been a while since I talked about it. I had a really long 1-hour video on that. It started going viral. I pulled that video a little while back and wanted to make some updates to it, but I'm not going to do a 1-hour video today. Maybe soon. I think that whenever we get into the interview process, I realize that a lot of people get hung up on that part because what I teach at a deeper level, when I go into this, and whenever you go into this really deeply, it's like you get caught up in the parts of the mechanics of the entire machine. There's a high level machine and then there's the machine's inner workings, and you get caught up in the machine's inner workings, and that slows you down, it holds you back, and it causes you to lose out on gigs. So today I just wanted to come in and talk about, first of all, the part where you've gotten an interview. I mean, somebody has responded to your proposal, and then we'll get into the call, because you're going to be getting on a call. If you're not getting on a call, well, I don't know. Sorry, you're not going to make very much money. But let's talk about you've sent off a proposal, you sent off a YouFocus proposal. We don't need to talk about that because we've already done videos on that. Search them out. They're in my playlist, my Freelance Grinder playlist. But you've gotten a response. What happens next? Depending on how you wrote your proposal is kind of going to determine how and where this goes moving forward. In a lot of my proposals, I end up inviting people to a call, and sometimes they mention they want to schedule a call. So it's a simple matter of asking them when would be a good time for them through Upwork chat. So I'm always moving people toward a call. That's how I navigate this process. I don't tell them anything about my prices. If they ask me about my prices, I don't say anything about that. I just ask them if they would be interested in a call. I never talk prices in Upwork chat. That's not something I do unless I can't really think of any situation where I would be talking prices in an Upwork chat, because I really almost always want to get people on a phone call. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm asking, hey, when would you have time to meet? Here's a couple of dates and times when I'm available. So I might say next Tuesday and next Wednesday. Next Tuesday I'm available anytime after 2, before 5 p.m. CST. I usually put it in their time zone if I can. You can find that up at the top of the Upwork messaging screen. If you look up, it shows you the client's time zone, so you can actually tailor that part for them. That's convenient. I usually put it in their time zone, and I just equate it to what time frames for myself in my time zone that I would be available. I ask them if they would prefer to meet by Skype or Zoom or phone, whatever is convenient for them. I use all three. Skype is fine. Zoom is my preferred. I love Zoom. It works really well, and it allows you to record your calls. So if you need to capture some of that information they're feeding you so you have it for later, that's really useful. With Skype, you usually have to get a third-party program or a plugin of some sort, an add-on, so that you can record Skype. With phone calls, you don't get to meet them face-to-face. You only get their voice. You can still use call recorders to record some of that stuff, so that can be useful. Usually I let people know if I'm recording. I'll say, hey, I'm just going to record this so I don't have to write down notes and be distracted while I'm talking to you. So Skype, Zoom, and phone are very useful tools. The last 3 times I've used Upwork's video messaging system, it is fucked up. So I'm done with Upwork's video messaging system. I will not use it again. I simply refuse. 3 times in a row, 3 times I've gone through and tried to give them the benefit of the doubt, and 3 times it is fucked up. So fuck your Upwork video system. I don't have time for that bullshit. Especially because I'm a professional business, and if Upwork wants us to legitimately take them seriously, to stop taking people off the platform through email, Skype, they've got to improve that shit, and they have to get it to work on their own before we go in there and test it. It's been up there for over a year now, maybe even 2 years now that they've had this system, and 3 times it hasn't worked. So I will not do that again moving forward. On a similar note, I won't use QuickBooks, by the way. We'll get into the rest of this here in a minute, but I will not be using QuickBooks moving forward. Not QuickBooks desktop version, which I paid $300 for, won't be using it. Not QuickBooks Online, I definitely won't be using it. I will use no version of QuickBooks moving forward ever again. They gave me the shittiest service this past week, and I'm really upset about it. So not only did I try to buy into their online service, it rejected me multiple times for incorrect information, which I verified was not incorrect. And then I asked their customer support about it. They tried to upsell me to higher services when I couldn't even buy their initial service. And then when they couldn't help me, and after wasting about an hour of my time, they sent me to an email which never responded to me. They never responded to the email I sent them. And so in the meantime, I switched over to Zero Accounting, got set up in like 5 minutes, imported all my stuff from QuickBooks, totally set up there, everything's good to go. That's what I'm using now. Fuck you, QuickBooks. So that's my little rant for today. Now, back to the topic at hand. Zoom, Skype, phone. These are going to be how you get people onto a phone call. Now let's talk about the phone call. So my phone calls generally have like 5 phases. There's rapport phase, there is discovery phase, where rapport is where I'm meeting people, that's the meet and greet. Hey, how are you? What's the weather like? Where are you? That kind of shit. Discovery is where I'm asking questions about their business. Tell me about your business. What is the problem you're having? What do you need help with? How does that affect this thing over here? Would you ever need something like this service? Do you just need email copywriting, or do you need blog posts? How is your funnel set up? How does that work? Tell me about it. I just want them to tell me about their business in the discovery phase. The third phase is the qualifying phase. In the qualifying phase, I'm just asking general questions about how they like to work. What do they expect from me? Are they someone who likes to message me in the middle of the night? Are they going to expect me to be on call? I'm going to ask some probing questions about that just to make sure, because if they're someone who is super strict with deadlines, what's their deadlines like? That's one I really love to ask. If they're strict with deadlines, I'm not going to be down for that, because I need time to do my work, and I don't want to be on an overnight deadline where you're going to drop me something last minute and be like, hey, I need this in an hour. I hate that. And I've had clients who did that before, and I will not work with those people. So if that happens, we're not a match, we're not moving forward. Going beyond that, we move into pricing. If you're going to be pitching your price, I guess there's kind of only 4 phases. So there's rapport, there's discovery, there is qualifying, and then there's your price. I've tried different things with this in the past. I've always gone through the first 3 phases, and then in the 4th phase I give some kind of option, and I say, here's how we can work together. We can either do $1,000 retainer for up to 10,000 words. We can do a $2,000 retainer for up to 25,000 words. I like to pitch retainers, but you can also just pitch your price here. You can just say, okay, so it's going to be $100 per page up to 500 words if you're a copywriter. If you are doing something else, you might have some other pricing. So don't base that on the pricing I'm throwing out here. Now, something I've been testing lately that I really like, I used to always think that you have to close on the call, but especially with Upwork, that's kind of a challenge because the client still has to set up the contract, and you can sit there and wait for them to set up the contract on the call. But something I like to do now, a couple things I like to do. So instead of pitching a price, I will suggest a client setup fee. And I like the client setup fee. It's usually $200 for me. That's something that I'm easily able to justify charging. This gives us a setup project. This includes my questionnaire, my client questionnaire that I'm going to send to them, and any other documents, anything they need to send to me up front, and maybe a small project that we do together, so that we get a feel for what it's going to be like to work with each other before we move into a committed relationship. So that's something I like to do. I like that setup fee and setup project. That's easy to get that. And once you do that, the client transitions into your customer, and they're willing to buy more from you, assuming everything goes well. And if it doesn't go well, it's no problem. Sorry, I've got a little bit of crap in my throat this morning. If it doesn't go well, it's no problem. you guys just part ways after that and there's no commitment. So the other thing I like that I've been trying recently is, if you think it's going to be a bigger project, if you're planning to pitch a bigger price, then something you might do is to let them know that you want to take what they've said today into consideration. So you're going to get off the call, you're going to think about what they've said, you're going to create a custom package for them, and then you're going to shoot that price over as a proposal. So you'll send them a proposal later on. So you don't actually have to pitch a price right here on the call. And I've done that lately. Something that's cool about that is this whole process then becomes simply a discovery process for both of you. They're finding out if you're a good fit, if you can help them. You're finding out if you want to help them throughout this thing. And then, assuming that you think you can, you're going to custom tailor a pricing package for them. So, the phases of this call, 4 phases: rapport, discovery, qualifying, and then closing. People get hung up on those phases. They think like, oh man, am I in rapport phase right now? They think, am I still in discovery phase, or should I be moving into qualifying phase? And when you start trying to think about these things, they're going to lock you up in this call. You're going to be so fucked because these things are going to hold you up. Your mind's going to get, like, you're going to draw a blank. You'll start to draw blanks. So here is my one suggestion, the one single thing that you have to do to make this shit work for you. The one thing, I do not follow my outline of this call. I'm telling you the phases that I generally go through, but I don't consciously follow it. When I get on these calls, 2 things happen. One is rapport phase, which usually I screw up, and I get on this call, it opens up, I see their smiling face, they see my smiling face, and we're like, hey, how are you? And then there's a pause, and then I'm like, I got nothing. I have nothing. I have no icebreaker prepared for this. We just got on this call. So tell me about your business. And that's how it goes. And then we just move into the next phase. I don't think, oh, am I in rapport phase? Am I moving from that? When I say tell me about your business, that moves us into that next phase. And they just open up. Boom. They're going to tell you all about their business. And then all you have to do from this point on, is ask questions. If you can ask questions, it doesn't even matter what questions you ask, as long as they're about their business, you're going to start to seem like you know your shit, like you know what you're talking about. You can ask about services they currently use. You can ask about what they have going on, what is troubling them in their business, what is not working right now. What and how questions are your friends. These are what are going to move you through this process. You do not have to be thinking about, first I need to ask, tell me about your business, and how is that affecting this thing, and how is that affecting this thing, and how bad is that problem, and how does this affect your family, and what's going to happen if you don't solve this problem with me today. You can do that. That is what high-level sales training is going to teach you. It's going to teach you a process of, you start with this high-level thing. Tell me about your business. That's big in general. And then you're going to drill down deeper and deeper and deeper. You're going to go deeper until you get to this bottom level emotional impact of the problem that they're facing. But I'm here to tell you that you do not have to do that. You do not have to do that. That makes your sales more effective. It will for sure, but you don't have to consciously be thinking about that. All you have to remember on your sales calls is to ask questions about their business. If you ask questions about their business, they're going to start to feel like you, at the very least, understand the industry you're working in. If I'm asking them about, if they came to me for blog posts and I start asking them, well, how do you handle emails? Or, how do you get traffic to your list? These things let them know that I'm thinking about the bigger picture, the funnel, that I'm thinking about how they're going to get people into their business. And it lets me know if they have those systems in place, and if not, is that something I can help them with? So it's all about asking questions. You don't have to remember discovery. You don't have to remember qualifying. None of that stuff. All you have to remember on these calls, if you want to succeed, is to ask questions about their business. Nothing else. Get on there, meet and greet, one high-level question, tell me about your business, and then just ask questions from there. Natural questions. Pretend like you're talking to a friend about their business. Forget the sale. Forget the sale. You do not need to think about selling people. You don't need to think about moving people toward the sale. You don't need to think about future pacing toward the sale. You do not need to think about selling. Here's what. Go into this with the mindset of, I'm here to help this person. I'm here to ask them questions about their business. Go into it as a consultant, but do not act as a consultant. So you want to ask questions. You don't want to provide consultant type solutions. That's one thing I will say. So don't consult them about what they're doing wrong and what they, don't get into specifics about what they need to do to fix it. The only thing you need to do is ask questions about their business, and then if it gets to your turn where the person wants to talk to you or ask you questions, then you just say, well, here's how I can help you. I can help you grow your email list by running traffic through a funnel like this, and then we can help you increase conversions by streamlining your copy. You're not going to say, I'm going to move the headline up here, and I'm going to put a subheadline in there, and I'm going to change your call to action to click here, buy now, or anything like that. Don't get into specifics. This is your call. Get on there, greet them, ask them about their business, and then, let them know how you work in terms of, this is how I do. I will build you one website page for $1,000. Okay? You can do that. You can pitch your price like that. You can say, well, I want to give you a tailored solution. So let me think about everything that you've told me today, and I'll create something, and I'll send over a proposal for you, and if you like it, we'll move forward. Or I'll send over a proposal with a couple of options for you, and you can choose how we move forward. Something like that. It's super simple. But bottom line is, mindset here is helping them gain clarity. This is a discovery process. You are discovering their business. They are discovering how you can help them, and then ultimately, they are going to discover how to work with you if they are a fit. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. Forget the inner workings of, you don't need them. You don't need the inner workings of the machine. You just need the machine itself, which is you asking questions about their business, and that's it. If you can do that one thing, you're going to come out of this with more gigs, more closed sales, and you are going to be much, much happier. So that's some different ways that I've done this in the past. Like I said, you can share your price on the call. It's no problem. You can share your price on the call. You can give options on the call. You can wait till later and send a proposal. It's totally fine. On the call, off the call, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. There's what feels right in the moment, and you connecting with your client. If you connect with your client, if they feel confident and comfortable in you, comfortable working with you, confident that you can get the job done, and they feel like you are competent, which they will because you ask questions about their business, then you're going to close more sales and you're going to do a much better job. That's all I've got for this one. Let me know your thoughts down below. What part of this are you struggling with? This was kind of high level. We can go a lot deeper into it another time, or maybe we can talk future pacing, we can talk leading, and just different things like that, body language, whatever you guys want to talk. Let me know in a comment down below. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. I'm Sinister Lex with Coastal Morning. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.